Welcome to our video lesson here on solving and graphing quadratic inequalities. I probably won't hit on so much as far as the graphing quadratic inequalities part because that's already in another video. So let's go and look at a program I'm using here. In red, I have graphed y is greater than x squared minus 4, and you notice on the graph it is the red dashed quadratic. It's dashed because it does not say or equal to. And then here in blue, we have y is less than or equal to negative x squared plus 4. And you notice that it is solid because it says or equal to. But we're not finished at this moment because with inequalities, whenever we graph, whether it's linear or quadratic, we have to shade one side of the graph. And so if you remember, we're going to pick a test point. I'm a big fan of 0, 0. If your graph goes through 0, 0, you cannot choose it. You have to choose a different point. But for this exercise, we're going to use 0, 0. Plugs, because remember, 0, 0, here's x and here's y. So we'll plug 0 in for y, plug 0 in for x, and then we solve it out. Is 0 greater than negative 4? Is 0 greater than negative 4? Yes, it is. So then we shade this part of the graph. And now if we look, we can actually choose the same test point for the blue graph, y less than equal to negative x squared plus 4. We'll plug 0 in for y, 0 in for x. Is 0 less than or equal to 4? Yep, that's true also. So then we shade inside this quadratic. And once we shade inside that quadratic, we should see, now that we have two of them on here, there's going to be an overlapping portion. And that overlapping portion is this black part. And so we want to make sure that this part stands out a lot more than the other, the red or the blue. And if you're doing this in pencil, this part should be the darkest part of the your graph. And if you notice there, once we're done shading and we take a step back and we look at it, we can see the portion there of the graph that is the solution. This is the solution of the two quadratic inequalities that we have graphed. So all of those points that we have shaded, those are going to be solutions to both y is greater than x squared minus 4 and y is less than or equal to negative x squared plus 4. And so that's what we're looking at. Your second example here, we are looking at two inequalities. The red dashed quadratic is up here. Y is greater than x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then the blue dashed quadratic is y is less than 1/4 x squared minus x plus 3. Now we're going to figure out which part of the line we have to shade. So I'm going to pick a couple points here. I want to pick, I could pick 0, 0, but I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how these other ones may work. Also may or may not work, and that'll help you determine which part of the graph you shade. I'm picking that ordered pair 2, 3. So that ordered pair 2, 3, and 2 is going to be x, so we plug it in for x, and 3 is y, so we plug it in for y. Go ahead and solve this out. 3 is greater than, here we have 4 minus 8 plus 4. 3 is greater than 0. Is that true? Yes, that's true. So then that means we shade inside this quadratic. And we notice that they're both dashed because neither one of them have the equal to underneath the inequality. Okay, so now let's move over to the blue quadratic, and let's pick a point. Since I see this fraction has 1/4, I want to pick a point that has 4 in it, and 4 in it for x, because it's going to help me cancel out. That's a 4 there. So if we look, we plugged 0 in for y. We pick the point 4, 0, so 0 gets plugged in for y. And for x, we're going to put 4. And now we can cancel out. There's 1, 4 here, so we cancel out 1, 4 here, leaving us 4 to the first power. And is 0 less than 3? 0 is less than 3. So then for the blue, this is a solution. So it's going to be everything. Let me go green, that way when I draw over top of this, it's going to be everything outside of that parabola. Okay, so now we need to look. Where do the two cross? And I didn't get very many green lines through here, but where do the two cross? The two of them cross right here. This is the only part where they overlap. And so that right there would be the solution. That right there is the solution to the system of quadratic inequalities. And everything, all those points that were shaded in black, that will satisfy both the inequality y is less than 1/4 x squared minus x plus 3, and it also satisfies y is greater than x squared minus 4x plus 4. That's all we have for this video. Let me know if you have any questions.